Oh my god. So I'm sitting here, I've just had my dinner. I'm going to have myself a coffee in a minute. But Holy War the movie. I'm onto that now. I haven't finished the other ones because I do everything biorhythmically, everything has to click into place. So nothing is out of tune vibrationally. So it often means having to wait. Oh, you'll often, when I'm always changing the name to things, it's because like it'll feel right at first, but then after a while, like I have to let it sit, because after a while it might start to feel off. If I forget the names of them, it means that they're losing their power. Um, so it's I've got to change it. Um, the word spell means verbal formula. So if somebody says the name of my movie, I want that formula to be something that is uplifting for them, healing for them, um, inspiring to them, so everything has to be pitch perfect. Um, so I have to change names to things all the time. Once I sit down with my writing staff and my artists and all of that, and we're able to get pen to paper and get the storyboards done and get visual ideas in that. Um, Nothing can change from that point on. The characters are the names of the movie, like it becomes immortalized. So if I want anything that I put out there for these kids to be immortalised, it has to be worth remembering. So I often have to change names and that. Things have to be perfect. The names of the characters, their background story, like, the meaning behind what it is I'm writing. A lot of it, the characters don't even come into play until after I've written it, and then I meet them in real life and I'm like, oh, you're so and so in The Quantum Menace or whatever. But Holy War the movie, think, as I've said before, think like Mystery Men in terms of comedy and the way we're going to do it. Like think Mystery Men, think Dogma, think The Frighteners, the Peter Jackson classic Frighteners. I love Peter Jackson. I'm a huge Peter Jackson fan. And Tim Burton as well. So yeah, they both appeal to me. So with Holy War, think Dogma and Mystery Men and The Frighteners mixed with a bit of Blade and Deadpool. So it's going to be great, like there's going to be like swords drawn and blood everywhere and battlefields and all that sort of thing. But I want to try and use as little graphics and zero AI as much as possible in the movies and games and that we're making. I'm all about tradition and old school and keeping the old skills of movie making and game making and that alive. I will always do everything the traditional way. And I'm just sitting here thinking, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, how cool it would be to have people like Kimmy Jimmy and Victor Orban and that have like little cameos in it. It's basically the story of this girl that gets sent to Earth to help the mortals fight a holy war. And how basically she goes down there like a sleeper cell agent. She waits until it's time to be triggered, but in the meantime, she has to like learn the human ways. And she's finding it very perplexing and all of that, but at the same time, she's got her big brothers, like Michael and Raphael and Sir Raphael and Ganesh and Shiva and all that. They're tormenting her because they think she's not like them. She's a girl, and like girls shouldn't be fighting holy wars. And they critique her work, they critique her fighting skills, but it's actually because she's like she's the little sister, and they just don't want to see any harm come to her, even though they know there isn't a human on earth that could like outmatch her fighting skills and her supernatural powers and all that sort of thing. They're still protective of her, but they don't want her to know that. So it comes across as they're bullying her and picking on her, and it's to toughen her up and all that sort of thing. And there's going to be a bit like where God comes down. There's going to be like an interaction with Jesus, and I'm just sitting here thinking like how the actors who play like Shiva and Ganesh and that, how I'm going to want them to look, because we're not going to be using graphics. Like, how would they, if they were making this movie, like when they were in the days where they were making Blade, even though I think they did use graphics. If they made Blade in the 80s, how would they have done it if they were fighting like Shiva and that? Because obviously I'm going to be using all the gods that I've been using to help, that I've always been using for a long time, and that's like Shiva and Ganesh, Odin, Neptune. So these are all gods in that are going to be playing roles in the movie. Because it's a holy war. So who plays Satan? And it would just be, oh my God, if I got like Georgia Maloney and that, all the nations that are fighting to preserve Christianity, even the countries like China and India and North Korea, and they are fighting, are helping Russia fight against like the beast system, which is the Western world and everybody that supports Israel. So everybody not supporting Israel, everyone who is actually trying to protect the children and all of that, for them it's not about religion, it's not about the colour of their skin, it's not about it's about doing the right thing for the children, for the next generation. It's about doing the right thing for our ancestors and like the legacies that we're trying to make. So we've got countries like China and North Korea and that fighting on the side of God, which is like, if that's not a holy war, what is? So I want to make a movie about this holy war, but obviously it's a comedy, and it'll be like the same sort of humour as like Dogma and The Frighteners and Mystery Men. Mystery Men is one of those underrated movies. Mystery Men deserves to go in the annals next to movies like Spaceballs and Young Frankenstein and that, for the comedy writing. Just pure comedy genius. I love that kind of humour. And the Holy War is kind of like that, and Dogma, and a bit of Frighteners, and because like it's also serious, because there's going to be, we're going to be discussing things like devil worshipping, and so it's kind of got that Blade sort of Deadpool kind of gritty bloodiness and that, but at the same time it's a comedy. So I mean, obviously it's an adult movie. It's not the sort of thing that kids can watch, but I'd love it if I could get like real life politicians and that to make little cameos. Get permission to film it on the streets of St. Petersburg, or oh my God, it'd be so cool. Like I can't wait to write that one, because that's kind of my sort of favourite movie. Would be that. So yeah, so she comes down, and I sort of wanted to have that. I always said that when they make the movie My Life, I think there's only one actress that could play me as a woman, and that would be Lucy Lawless, if she still acts and would want to, but I think she could pull it off. Which is funny, because I used to call myself Kinda Xena, because I was Delulu back in the day, but just because the blue eyes, and I was tall in that, so yeah. but my character's sort of going to be in her 20s. So it doesn't mean to say that she couldn't play a role in it, though. It's just because I would really, really like her to play me in the movie of my life. But the other thing I need to do, remember I said I need to do one of every genre. I need to do an action movie, and I need to do a martial arts one. So that's just my water bottle. An action movie, kind of like your Commando, Rambo sort of thing. We sort of kind of technically do, have an action movie, because my son Thomas and I were just starting to plant the seed for an idea of doing like a Christmas action movie with Santa, where he has to fight something and he has to go Rambo or Commando style. But that would be more. I'm aiming more for the Christmas market. You know, look, Die Hard. How everyone watches Die Hard at Christmas time. It's considered like a Christmas movie, right? Even though like it's just because it's like at a Christmas party. This would be that. It's Santa and it's the North Pole, and it's this, that, and the other. But it's about how he's trying to stop invaders from trying to stop the darkness from taking over the North Pole to control the naughty and nice list. So he has to go commando style or commander style, commando, yeah, or like Rambo. I love the Rambo movies. I think the Rambo movies are way better than anything that Arnie made. I do love Arnie movies, but the Rambos in that were just, I think out of all of them, Stallone by far makes the best movies. He's good at picking his roles in that. Like, yeah, he knows what he's doing. So, yeah, and a martial arts one. So my son has been learning all that sort of stuff, sword fighting, and I said to him when we got out of here, he could learn to do, because like he already learns how to do stunt falls and that for his sword fighting. So I said if he wanted to learn how to do like movie stunts and that sort of thing for doing his own roles, then he could, because he wants to do all his own roles and all his own stunts. So I said I'd give us a reason to make a movie where he gets to be like the action hero. So so we were just starting to work on that when like a whole pile of stuff kicked off. But yes, I'm still writing, still got my head down, and I'm just I need to get it all out. I need to get it all typed out and all written out. Some of these things aren't going to take very long to make, because they're only going to be a few minutes long. But it's for the experience. It's to give the kids the experience. It's the class projects basically, and we're just inviting everyone to come and participate in what it is they're making. Might not be Oscar winning stuff, they might not be winning Grammys or anything like that, but that's not the point. You don't come to the kids' Christmas panto and sit in that cold hall at Christmas time and watch your kids come out with towels and pillows, or towels wrapped around their neck to be capes and pillows around their heads to be ghosts or whatever, and critique it and poo-poo the idea and tell them where the stage props were wrong. Like that's not what you do. At the foundation, we're basically letting the kids make stuff and then opening the gates and saying to the world and tourists and people that want to come far and wide to buy what it is that we're selling, we're opening the gates and going, look what our kids made, and you go, oh my god, that's so clever, and yay, that's what I love those pies, or I bought myself one of those tops, I couldn't help it. Like, like everyone's there to support the kids. So I will put on the red carpet event. I'll be the one that puts on our version of the Oscars and our version of the Grammys, and they can come and they can put their gowns and tuxedos on, and they can walk our little teeny tiny red carpet into our theatre that also doubles as a cinema, and we will put on an award show for them, and I'll hand out their awards, and they'll win like best actress with our thing, and then they can go up on like a wall of fame, and and then if they end up actually going like world famous and going mainstream famous, then we'll have like little North Stars, and we'll have our own version of like the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It'll be the North Star Walk of Fame. So yeah, we'll do it. We'll be the ones that make them the stars, even if nobody else in the outside world knows how special they are. We will. We'll know how special they are, and they'll get awards in that. So we'll do it. We'll be our own little world. And yeah, so I've got to do genres. So now I've got to think of an action movie and a martial arts one. I myself might have to learn, offer my skills as a feng shui master. I might have to write myself in a wee scene there. I'm a bit of a martial artist myself, bit of an expert. Feng shui's you've got to be quite the master. It takes a few years to master. It's it's way above Vladimir Putin's head with his judo. If I did feng shui on him, he'd feel it before he even got here to do his judo. That's how strong and powerful feng shui master he is. So, it's the sort of thing where you dare not whisper its real name because you can die on the spot. That's how powerful my feng shui mastery is. So I might have to have a wee cameo in that movie there. my, my boys say I'm the worst to play stealth nurse with because I give my position away because I get so excited I sing my own theme tunes and give my position away. But I was going to write that into Holy War the movie. So, but yeah. Well, I mean, it's my movie studio. If I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I'm just being smart. I don't. I have no interest in being on camera, though I know I'm going to have to at some point. But I prefer to just be the one to create everything. I spin the web. I'm like Mother Spider. I watch over everyone, and I spin the silk for them to turn into their own web to capture everyone's attention and imagination. I'm not even gonna tell you the sort of stuff that I have planned for Halloween. But if people think that they're gonna be turning up and it's all gonna be like Disney style Halloween, they're in for a shock. My haunted house, you're gonna have to sign a waiver if you're under a certain age and are trying to convince us that you can handle it. Like, oh my god, I have these ideas. So now I need the justice and to get out of here so that I can find the people to help me implement these ideas. So, yeah, Holy War the movie. I wonder who I end up getting to play me because it's going to start with um, basically who falling out of the sky. It's going to start with basically God having this discussion about Michael and that she's just a girl. They're gonna she's gonna come back damaged, and then we're the ones that are gonna have to put up with her bad mood and that. And God's like, yeah, I know, but she's required to. She has to if she wants to earn her wings. She has to do this. And they've just been like this whole thing, and then she's like, yeah, I'm ready. They're like, wait, am I ready? Wait, am I ready for this? And then it's too late. She gets he flings her down, like Zeus, like a bolt of lightning, flings her down. She lands on Earth. I don't know what country yet. For some reason, I always think like Brooklyn, or I always think like around the New York area. and there'd been like a crater in the ground where she lands, and she's got to assimilate to being a human, and yeah, she has to decide what age she wants to go down as. Does she want to do the Superman thing and come down as a baby and have someone find her and raise her from a kid, or does she want to go down as like a teenager? I was sort of thinking send her down around about sort of 18, 19, where she's still got that innocence, but she's got the bravado of thinking she can take it all on, sort of thing, and at the same time trying to prove her brothers wrong. So, yeah, I need to come up with a name for her character. Her name has to be perfect, because I want to come out with a toy range for her and have her be like, like where she's actually wearing like clothing toys and like metal ones, die cast ones, and all of that. Like I've got a whole thing range. Even if the movies bomb, and like even like it doesn't matter, because I know that it's stuff like that where they come out with merchandise, where in the future the merchandise ends up pretty much making the money back that they lost. The merchandise, like it's like imagine if you found merchandise from the ET video game. Imagine if you went somewhere and you found like one little merchandise thing from when that game came out, or even the game itself. One copy survived. Imagine how much that would be worth right now. People would be falling over themselves to get their hands on it. It's like the golden ticket item. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I want. I'm going to bring out merchandise, like a small range of merchandise. Obviously, depending on how successful everything becomes, but knowing that even for the ones that aren't successful, even if they don't become cult classics 20 years, 40 years, 50 years later, the toys will always be a collector's item, because they'll become like the golden ticket for investment. People, the smart ones, invest in things like toys. They're a rare gem, and so we plan to come out with a whole range of merchandise and toys and products, and have like a store with all our our movies and our games merchandise, and eventually like our own version of the Disney store once we start getting everything out there, of course. And so think big, dream bigger. It's like blowing up a bubble. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But my universe, it can't pop. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It just expands. Because I've created so many characters, and I've come up with so many things that it's like everything branches out. I call it the honeycomb system. One feeds the other. Everything branches out and one feeds the other. So, and it just can get bigger and bigger and bigger, depending on how much space we give it to grow. So I'm excited. So so now I've got to think action movie. So would we count the Christmas one as the action movie? Because technically, when my son and I sat down and said we need to come up with an action movie, and I said I don't know why I keep thinking Christmas. He was like, oh my God, yeah, me too. And we were like, okay, so like, why would Santa be needing like AKs and missiles? Like, why would Santa be needing all that kind of stuff? So so that was the seed that we planted there. So I don't know if we would call that, if we could be cheeky and say that's the action movie, because it's very little to do with Christmas other than the fact that they're trying to steal the naughty and nice list. Um, they're trying to prevent Christmas. So it's not technically a Christmas movie. So I could make that the action movie, but like at the same time, just something, I don't know. I might come up with something else as well. I also need to come up with a horror movie that's based on the occult, like some sort of possessed something, or to do with like devil worshippers and that. I need to come up with that kind of genre of horror movie too, making sure I don't invoke anything. Because got to do one of every genre, which means we'll have to do an alien one too. But how are we going to do that without using graphics and AI? We'll figure it out. It's getting exciting. So yeah, Holy War the movie. Um, the music for it is going to be quite sort of Blade like. I think it's going to be very sort of heavy, sort of thrash metal sort of stuff. And her sword, she's going to have the most incredible sword. So whoever plays the girl, I keep thinking Rachel, or Rochelle or something like that, but we'll see. Grace, maybe. Call her Grace, or Hope, or Faith, something like that. And her sword, yeah, it's going to have like a gold flame in the middle, like it just looks like a golden thread, like a orange thread, sort of like the flame of truth that Lucian has in Lucian's dragon, sort of like that, but not quite. But this has got like lava from hell down the middle of her sword, because hell is the final judgment. And if she accidentally hits you with her sword and you're innocent, you won't feel it, but she'll get into trouble for it. Because she's training, she's learning how to trust her instincts, and because she's like a judge for God, So if she gets it wrong, it comes back on her. But if she gets it right, like Blade, they'll turn into ash, like fiery ash. So she has to get it right. And some of them are going to be like celebrities, movie stars, politicians, that sort of thing. I'd love to like do a whole thing where she goes to do a hi-ya to Victor Orban because like she got something wrong, or like Kimmy Jimmy or something like that, and it didn't do anything, and then she has to. I'm trying to think of what her punishment would be, like where maybe she has like some sort of earthquake, or where she gets struck by invisible lightning or something like that, but it doesn't hurt her or kill her. It's just uncomfortable. It's just not nice. Like Blade, how he has to have those injections, and like it's necessary, but it's not nice. That kind of thing. But I'm just trying to think, like, but what would her, every time she gets it wrong, what would her punishment be? I'm thinking like yeah, maybe she gets struck by lightning, or like banging a gong, but like a body jitter kind of sort of thing. But it's like, yeah, but nobody else will see it. She'll know, but nobody else will. But I'm just throwing ideas out there. I just get so excited. I can't wait to see these movies. I can't wait to see them get made. I can't wait to see what the kids and the writers and the actors and all of that are going to do with it all. What the sets they're going to build, the costumes they're going to wear. I just can't wait to see it all. It's exciting. So yeah, so martial arts movie. I have got a martial arts character in the Quantum Menace. His name's Sho, and he can harness energy from his hands. He's a samurai. and he grew up with monks because his parents couldn't handle his superpowers, because it's the Quantum Menace Mutant Legion, because like it's all the mutants with all these superpowers and that, and he has these superpowers where he can draw energy from his hands and like use them to fire off like energy bullets and that at things, but he doesn't know how to control it. So she comes in, Olivia Day, Quantum Menace. She goes and helps him train, teaches him how to like master his sword and fight his demons and all that sort of thing. So the martial arts movie could be about Show, like where he goes off and does goes on his monkey journey. Remember Monkey? God, I loved Monkey when I was a kid. You can watch them on YouTube and that too. Yeah, so Monkey. So he can go. It can be like he goes off on a whole round the world trip of self sort of thing before he joins the Mutant Legion. Maybe talk about his training. So I have to keep pausing because people keep going past my window. Everyone has to go past my window to get to the flats. It gets so frustrating. I want my privacy. I want peace and quiet. The distractions and that, I just got to hang in there a little bit longer. Anyway, so that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it can be about Shows. He goes off to find himself before he decides to join the Mutant Legion, maybe. And then he can do all sorts of martial artist things. I've still got to do my rom-com as well. I kind of like threw seeds out there, but it's sort of like, meh, I can deal with the love life stuff later. Let's do all the martial artist things and anything where we get to have like prop guns and fake explosions and stuff. Obviously, where it's not going to put anyone in danger, but the fake explosions might be smoke bombs without any explosions, because like I'd be worried for the kids. But anyway, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. It depends. So just some ideas. Holy War the movie. Action movie. I've still got to like put the filling inside Dork the musical as well. My High School Musical one. Oh, there's still so much to do. I just the more like I'm just gosh, I've written a lot. We'll put everything into a hat. Whatever we pull out is what we'll make first. I can't wait though. Like I really can't. The more foundations I can build though, the more we can get done. We just have to start with what we can for now. But hopefully, in like 10 years, we've got some good stuff coming out. Anyway, I'm going to go and make myself a hot drink. And I need to keep thinking up these storylines and that. The games are pretty much sorted, and the boys know more about that sort of, they have more ideas for that than me. I've just come up with the stories, and they're running with the development and all of that if they wanted to get involved. But if not, the games are pretty set now. It's just the TV shows, the movies, the Halloween stuff. I wonder realistically how long it would take to make like a feature-long movie that didn't involve graphics and stuff, where we could make like a couple of slash, like get the horror movie stuff out made by the time we opened up the foundation, because by that point the hotel will be up and running, the stores will be open, like we'll open everything at once, just not the school. But I wonder if we'd have enough stuff to be able to have our little movie theatre and let them come and watch the horror movies in that in the movie theatre. I wonder how long we could, realistically speaking, how long it would take for us to make a couple of live action horror movies before next October. Hmm. Hmm. Well, if it's meant to be, if it's meant to be, it will be. We'll just have to wait and see. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. We'll just have to wait and see. They're just the magic coming off the wand. Blink.